Happy Tuesday, Jar of Pain babies. I hope you're doing well. It is very fun for me to do these intros. I hope you enjoy these intros. It's a little peek into Matt's life as the producer of the show, I guess. I am. We're back again with the second part of the throwback episode 3 that was never released. I may have figured out why it's never released. Looks like the camera died mid-recording. You're going to see that at the end of the episode. There's about 7 minutes that's chopped off of video. Ironically, when we're talking about people going blind, I don't know. The universe was out to get us, I guess. He said, don't make fun of those sun dancers. So that's, I just gendered the universe as a he. Sorry about that. Hey, it's a Sunday. Hey, it's a Sunday. I don't know. So this is a great episode, though. A lot of laughs, a lot of fun laughs. We talk about my old band, The Millennium, a bit, and our music video, Wild Again. We talk about Mr. Tasty. If you've seen the ice cream cone head that a lot of people think is a white poop emoji head, we kind of explain the lore on that. That's kind of just a Matt thing. I just love that guy. And I talk about that a little bit. But this is a great episode. So happy that you're here listening to this podcast. We'll be recording more episodes next weekend, so we'll be done with the throwbacks for a while. But yeah, I just appreciate you being here. Tell somebody about the show. Let's keep growing this little community of curious people like you and I who take a second look at things in the universe and go, huh? Wait, what? That's us. And I think there's a lot of us out there, and it could be really fun. And if the podcast gets big enough, we'll do more live shows maybe. I don't know. We'll see. This is kind of just a hobby right now, but I really love doing it, and I love the questions that we get. I love not knowing what the hell every time we record is going to bring. I just appreciate it so much, and you're a huge part of that. I can't do this without you. I need you to do this. So tell a friend about the show. Ask your questions at jarofpain.com. Let's just do this thing. I know we can do it. I love you. You're safe. You're so beautiful. You're so loved, more than you know. Enjoy this episode. Bye.
Jar of Pain, what time is it? Jar of Pain, what time is it? Jar of Pain, what time is it? Jar of Pain, what time is it?
Jarofpain.com.
Jarofpain.com.
Please send questions. Ooh. We're going to get some bias on this, but what's better? Dairy Queen or Mr. Tasty?
I'm not sure I love Dairy Queen. Their blizzards give me diarrhea. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
And Mr. Tasty is a fictional ice cream character from The Adventures of Pete and Pete. I've never had it, you know?
I thought Mr. Tasty was a mascot.
Yeah, but he's from a show.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. The lore on Mr. Tasty goes deep.
I thought we were making up Mr. Tasty lore for Jar of Pain.
I'll just explain it now because it's a podcast and that's what you do.
Yeah.
There was a show I used to watch growing up called The Adventures of Pete and Pete on Nickelodeon.
For sure.
It was two stepbrothers named Pete, and they both had red hair.
Sure.
What are the odds? Now we got a show.
Yeah.
There was an episode in one of their summer seasons about how when they were smaller, they used to get Mr. Tasty Freezy Pops. He was a guy in an ice cream mask on the beach, and he had the most delicious snacks, right? The most delicious ice cream treats. He had disappeared, and they were like, the whole episode was them trying to find him and track him down.
Sure.
And they had a guy in a costume on set.
Wait, was this live action or cartoon?
Live action.
Okay.
Skip forward 25 years.
Right.
I'm in a band.
Can rent a car. Yeah.
I can rent a car. I'm in a band. I want to make a music video.
Sure.
That the intro to The Adventures of Pete and Pete was very cool to me as a kid. Like, it introduced all the characters in a very cool way, and there was a band that was playing, and the song rips.
Yeah.
And so I was very inspired by that. And so I said, why don't I recreate the introduction to The Adventures of Pete and Pete, but with my band?
Yeah.
And we're the band playing, right?
Hell yeah.
And so we recreated it shot for shot.
Sick.
And I got in contact with the guy on Instagram who worked in the props department at Nickelodeon and actually was the one who created the Mr. Tasty helmet, like the thing on the top of his head.
An ice cream cone.
And he made me
with eyes.
an exact replica with, like, he molded it and everything. And so it's that's the real thing.
Oh, wow.
I'm probably the only one in the world who has one. And it was $1,000 music video. And the director liked the idea so much. He's like, I will make the music video less money so you can buy that. Because the guy didn't make it to me for free. It was $300.
Yeah. It's a dog eat dog world. You got to make your bread.
Yeah. But it's signed on the inside by the artist and everything. But it's real. It's like, it's an authentic piece from one of my favorite Nickelodeon TV shows as a kid. And you've seen it on the posters. I'll put a picture here. Yeah.
Didn't you spill chili on it?
It's been through a lot. I didn't spill chili on it, but
The only person
I used to
in the
keep
world.
it in my kitchen on top of my fridge because it's huge. Where else do I put it? And sometimes oil will spritz on it, and
Yeah.
chili oil
Yeah.
has a bit of red to it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so I do need to clean him once in a while because he's been all over the country.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about
I
that.
moved
Yeah.
back.
I'm a Dairy Queen guy. That's what I'm going to say.
You know which Dairy Queen rips?
Which one?
That one on Birch Street, dude.
That one does.
You go by at 9 p.m. on a summer night,
Yeah.
like on a Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. The line's
It's
backed
like a
up.
30 car deep line. And you're like, I didn't know Dairy Queen was so popular.
I'm sorry. But yeah, Dairy Queen is super popular on the summer nights. I've been a part of that line.
Yeah. And there's no like, what else is there? It's cheap. It's easy. I mean, it's probably not super cheap anymore,
mean-
but like,
There's Culver's, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying though.
yeah,
It works in a pinch.
true.
And I hate to work there.
Yo, quantity though? Jesus Christ. There's so
They give you
much.
a lot?
Are you kidding me? Have you seen a medium?
Yeah, it's big. It's
It's-
a lot of iced cream.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah, I like the Oreo ones.
I'm Oreo cookie dough. Chocolate ice cream.
Nice. Ooh, that's nice.
Sometimes I'll add fudge syrup. It's really good. Should we do away with daylight savings time? Absolutely. I don't even care what Matt's opinion is. Daylight saving time is the dumbest thing on the face of the planet. It is an archaic piece of legislation that doesn't even need to exist anymore. Stop it.
I'm going to let you take that one because I feel like I just watched a politician be born.
You didn't.
Finally, someone with a little passion.
It's the type of passion not for change, but to like throw a bottle at a cop car. It's that kind of passion. It's not useful. It's just blatant masturbatory rage into the ether. I don't care what happens to it. I am this livid because I know everyone else in goddamn America is also in agreement with this. Stop it. Let us get the extra hour of sleep in and then end it. Just fucking chop the head off and let us continue our weeks without having to wake up at 9 o'clock and all of a sudden it's 10 o'clock. I'm done with it.
I like it. Next question.
You're just being different to be different.
I like it. I don't want to explain myself because it'll fall on deaf ears. I like it. Time was a construct that we created. It's a good reminder of that. Next question.
What's the weirdest place to chew bubble gum?
Oh, can I just tell you?
Rip it.
Fantastic question. That is if I could pick a perfect question, that to me is a perfect question.
What's the weirdest place to chew? What do you
Because it's intriguing,
yeah,
makes you think about it.
it does.
It doesn't really hurt anybody.
It doesn't, but the answer you could make it hurt. You could.
But that wouldn't be the weirdest, right?
Well, I mean, weird means odd, and odd means inappropriate.
Yeah.
Or at least it can.
But I'm thinking like
What do you think?
I'm thinking like situational, not necessarily like place, right? Like chewing gum at a funeral could be considered rude.
That's where my head went to. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the weirdest place.
What do you think is the weirdest place? OBGYN?
It would be weird if the doctor was chewing gum.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
just all right, you put your
Open
feet in the
up.
stirrups.
Open up. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of normal places to chew gum. Baseball game, airplane, work. Those are all. So we've identified the normal places.
Yeah. Investigating a crime scene. There's always a cop chewing gum.
Well, he just quit cigarettes. So
And if
he's working on it.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
working on it. Ooh, God, that's a good question.
I was gonna say a nursing home, just because they ain't got the teeth for it.
At the dentist. That would be a weird place.
Keep going.
You're sitting in the chair. They're like, open up. And they go, can you spit your gum out? You're like, no, I'm chewing it. And they have to kind
of... they have to work around you.
Where they have to work around your chewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a great answer, but it's the weirdest thing I could think of.
Yeah, they would probably not want you to come back to the dentist.
What's the weirdest place to chew bubblegum?
What's the weirdest place to chew bubblegum?
The past.
Can I get a further elaboration?
If I went back in time and was chewing bubblegum, that would be weird for everybody.
How far back?
50 years.
That's where like people chewed bubblegum.
But I'm a time traveler.
It looks like you just be trying to fit in because everyone's chewing bubblegum.
Okay, next question. Thank you for that question. It's my favorite question. I'm going to think about it for the next 10 years of my life.
I'll rip a bottom one.
Ooh, it's a little guy.
Trust me on this one.
I like when they're little guys because that means someone really, respect the jar. Someone really like got in there and was like, oh, I want this one.
What is the most scared you have ever been?
Ooh, I know this one from the top of my head.
Yeah.
When I moved back from Nashville.
Sure.
It was a bit of an emotional situation. And so I had just had enough. And I'm a pretty dramatic person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know that about me. That's Ben being nice. And I had just had enough. I was fed up. And I worked till 4.
Yeah.
And I packed up my van and I left. And I drove overnight. I was like, I'm done. I want to get out now.
From Nashville to Wisconsin?
All in one shot.
Damn.
And
I've done that trip.
Yeah, it's like 15 hours.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. Took me about 18. And here's the thing. I used Google Maps. And Google Maps, when you have a plan, is great. There's a selection in there to avoid tolls.
Nice.
Which is sick. But what that means is you're off the beaten path a bit. You're kind of going through small towns and big county roads. But again, it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Especially when it's daytime.
Yeah.
But when you're looking to make a straight shot, it's not the best way.
Yeah.
You know? Especially when you're alone in a car. Also, what put me over the edge was I needed to get my car fixed. And I went to get new tires after I got my car fixed, which cost me $1,600. My car was extremely rusted.
Yeah.
And so they fixed the piece, but they weren't like, oh, it's really rusty. Don't trust this thing. They just let me go, which was fine, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I go to the tire place. I go, hey, is there any way you can fit me in? I need new tires. I'm making a long trip. I got to be home. It's an emergency. The emergency was purely emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, for sure. And then he comes they take the car, they drive it, whatever. It's like a Walmart tire center. They're in and out pretty quick. Takes like 20 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I'm going home. This is great. I'm feeling high. And then my man comes back out of the garage while I'm sitting in the waiting area. And he goes, hey man, so I went to put your car on the lift and it's so rusted, it bent.
Oof.
And so he goes, at this point, it's like not safe for any of us to be under there. And like, it'll probably still drive, but I just want to let you know, like I have to refuse service because it's a safety hazard for me and the guys, which I totally understood, although very frustrating.
A little bit, yeah.
And very concerning for someone making a cross-country trip last minute with no plans that no one knows is happening.
Also, wild that a mechanic was like, yeah, we're going to do the decent thing here and not charge you out the ass.
Well, I think he was worried the car would fall on somebody.
That had to be so fucked up. It had to be so rusted.
Yeah. He told me when because it's an automatic lift, they set it up. He's like, when I turned it on, it just bent. And then rust, you know those scene in Cars when he goes to the rusty people and they're like
Yeah.
flaking off?
Yeah.
He goes, rust just flaked off of the outer bar.
Yeah.
And so I drove home, but again, I had no tolls on. So it took me through bumfuck Illinois.
Oh, you're going over bumps and shit too.
And I'm going over bumps. At one point in time, it was a severe thunderstorm with hail.
Yeah.
I can't stop. I'm in the middle of nowhere, no service. My car's fucked.
Yeah.
And I'm on a gravel road for an hour
Yeah.
in bumfuck. And I got really religious because I was kind of worried my car would fail. And I like, what do you do there?
Sure.
You have to just wait for the kindness of a stranger, hopefully. And I grabbed the steering wheel with both hands and I said, God, give me a highway. God, if you're there, give me a highway. And he didn't give me a highway. He gave me 40 more minutes on a gravel road. And then eventually I got to a highway and I'm here today. I made it safely. And then I went to trade in the car and the guy goes, I can't offer you anything for this.
Yeah,
That's the most scared I've ever been.
We won't even take money for this. Yeah, that's pretty terrifying. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's a big boy move though. You lived a life.
I've lived quite a life.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can boil it down to one instinct, which is when I was a little kid, my mom said, the burner's hot, don't touch it. And my instinct was, how hot could it be? And I burned my hand.
What is she hiding from me on this burner stove?
Yeah, maybe it feels awesome and she doesn't want me to get addicted to it.
Maybe it's gonna make me bust.
But that idea in my brain that
Yeah.
I have to figure out for myself
Yeah.
is why I've had an eventful life. Now, a lot of good has come from that.
A lot of great. You have lessons. You're gonna drop old man wisdom of your own when you have kids.
I'm already dropping it.
Dude, and it's gonna
And
be
I'm
like,
in my early 30s and I'm dropping old man wisdom on people.
remember when? And you're like, I just want you to shut the fuck up.
I was at a party for the first time in a long time in early March, and we were playing Never Have I Ever.
Yeah.
I've fucking done everything. A guy I've never met looked at me and goes, God, you've lived a life.
That's like probably one of the best compliments you can get.
I know. And I've never considered myself that person, but
Yeah.
I've just been all over the place. I've had a lot of great opportunities because I chase out unique situations. I mean, the first time I did cocaine, I was in Chicago and these strangers were in a bathroom doing cocaine. And I said, it's my birthday. Can I have some? And they're like, get in here. And then I went to a strip club for the first time and it was an all black strip club in Gary, Indiana. I mean, I've had an insane life.
Say what you want about drug addicts, but boy, are they
Yeah.
willing to be charitable.
And the lady at the strip club, my friends bought me a lap dance. Also, it was 4 a.m.
As it should be.
She could tell I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 23. I'm in a strip club for the first time. It's in Gary, Indiana. Me and my friends are the only whites. And she was probably in her mid 40s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a late shift.
Yeah.
And she could tell I was uncomfortable. She goes, honey, you feel nervous? And I was like, yeah, I feel a little uncomfortable. Like, kind of feels like I'm like objectifying you, you know? And she goes, oh, please. She's like, I'm here to put my kids through college. I don't care what you think. Just let me make my money. And I was like, you got it.
You
I'll shove that ass in my face. Like she just leveled me out so hard.
Just flip
She's like,
that
I don't give a
switch.
fuck about you.
won't-
Just let me enjoy yourself, you fucker.
give a shit about being objectified. I'm trying to
Yeah.
make
I'm
ducats.
trying to get objectified.
Please.
I make more money the more you objectify me.
Yeah, you want to help me? Tip me.
Yeah, exactly. I'll never forget. Her
That's-
butthole smelled like coconut. I'll never forget that. But it had a little butthole stink to it too. It was so incredible.
Coca butt.
Yeah. Now, what's the most scared you've ever been?
I'm just afraid of going blind, man.
Yeah.
The eclipse, dude. You know how hard I wanted to stare at it.
I've done that. It
You
hurts.
Can't.
I know.
You can't.
You know, for weeks and weeks and weeks, they tell you, don't look at it. Don't look at it. And then I was...
Hand on the burner stove. Why? Why don't you want me to look
I didn't even
at
think
it?
about it. I was like walking outside. This is not this eclipse, but the last one that like had a significant thing.
Yeah.
And like all the shadows look like eclipses. Like when you see like shadows between tree leaves, like on the ground, like you're walking outside, they all have little, like when it's eclipsing, they're like little moons, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so cool. I'm like, oh shit, what's happening with the sun? I looked up straight at it and went, oh, they've been telling me for weeks not to do
Here's
this.
the thing, though, is I think scientists are on some bullshit, all right? Because they're like, don't look at the sun, but the sun's getting blocked out, so why can't I look at it?
Yeah.
That's
they need to
stovetop conspiracy bullshit.
And they need to take that back to the drawing board. We're supposed to look at it. Ancient cultures used to do like sun dances where they would stare. It was like a feat of endurance, and they would dance and look at the sun for hours. You're telling me they went blind? No, we're fine.
Definitely went blind. At least one of them definitely went blind.
Yeah, that's true.
And he became a wise shaman sage guy.
And they're like, the sun blinded him with the light.
The gods blinded him.
He saw the future and he couldn't see anything else.
And then he's just like over there giving old man wisdom, but it's like Appalachian old man wisdom. So it like doesn't make sense, and it involves wildlife at the same time.
Yeah, it would make sense to me.
Yeah, it'd be like, yeah, don't ever listen to a whispering catfish.
So what was the scariest you ever been? Did you answer that?
I just said I'm afraid of going blind. I've never really been super scared. I mean, I get like super nervous, but I wouldn't say fearful.
Oh, I feel like I'm fearful of everything.
Yeah.
I'm a very fearful person.
I'm not very afeared. I just have the regular fear. Yeah, like I more so have fears than I have been afraid. Otherwise, just intensely nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have another one, but it can wait. It's too much trauma to unpack right now.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this up with the last question.
Last question of Jar of Pain with Matt and Ben. Bow.
I really like
What'd
that.
you get yourself into, buddy?
I don't know. What is the meaning of life?
Wow.
Now, there's ways we can answer this.
I'm going to be serious.
Well, hear me out. Let me proposition you.
Okay.
And we can maybe save that your serious one for like a show. Let's answer the meaning of life by trying to connect all of the answers we gave today with the questions we had.
Dairy Queen.
We got Dairy Queen. What would you put your dick in? What's the weirdest thing you would put your dick into?
Yeah. Should we daylight savings time?
Daylight savings time.
What is a laugh?
Nipples hurt when I pee.
I don't know if I can do this.
I mean, but when you try to define life, life is what? Meaning, existence?
The meaning of life, I mean, first of all, you're going to pee a lot.
You're gonna pee.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, is that sometimes things are connected that you don't know are connected.
Like nerves in your nipples
Yes.
and your vagina or penis.
Or sometimes you take a cold bite of ice cream and your toe wiggles.
Or you take a bite of ice cream, too much teeth, and then you got brain freeze.
Yeah. And a lot of times that happens around daylight savings time because the ice cream shops are open back up.
And sometimes your friends will laugh and you go, why did you laugh? I'm in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes pain is funny.
Yeah, that's true. And sometimes that pain scares you, makes you fearful.
Yeah. Sometimes that pain smells like a coconut butthole.
It's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Because sometimes pain disguises itself as fear. sometimes you feel fear of pain before the pain actually exists.
Yeah, this is one of those things that you're saying, and it just makes
I know.
sense.
It's an ability I
resonates.
have.
It
I don't
really
even
is.
know what I'm saying.
It is.
I just at work the other day, one of my bosses came over and goes, "Hey, what's that idea the other day that you had that was like a really good idea we were all excited about?" I'm like, "You're gonna have to be more specific because I treat everything that comes out of my mouth the same way, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just spouting all the time,
Yeah.
and I don't know what's good or bad.
No.
I'm just going for it.
You're ripping it.
I just rip, and so that it's hard. I can't really back anything up,
yeah.
but it's honest and genuine in the moment."
So I mean, that's part of that's life. Life is there's pain, and you're afraid of that pain before you even experience the pain, and how you treat that will either
That's how you live your life.
That's how you live your life.
Yeah.
That the fear of pain, not the pain itself, but
Yes.
the fear of pain is what dictates your life.
And let me take it one step further.
Rip it.
Pain only exists because pleasure also exists. And I would say that pain could be described as the absence of pleasure. And so the only way to have a good thing is you also have to have a bad thing so there's context. Otherwise, there is really no good or bad. And you get to decide what's good and bad for you as well.
Yeah.
Like we have agency. We have free will, But really, I think and the question isn't what's the secret to life, but I think the meaning of life is finding as much joy as you possibly can, understanding that joy can be both pleasurable and painful when you look at the whole experience together, and seeking out things that maybe you're scared of or may seem painful, knowing that once you've experienced them, a good thing is right around the corner. Because once you have the experience of bad, you can finally accept the good. Bubblegum, Dairy Queen.
Remember?
Bubblegum, Dairy Queen, fear, laughter. I think that's all of it.
Remember when I said, let's use the answers to answer this question? And then you're like, I don't know if we can. And then we just actually fucking crushed it.
I don't know if I'm just spewing here.
It was word vomit for sure. But the whole dictate your life with pain.
Yeah.
There's a truth there.
I believe there is. And what's odd is I can't ever just do that. I need to do things like this to understand that. I need to practice it on stage before I bring it into my normal life. I've always been a better coach than a player.
I mean, when the Dalai Lama isn't just face kissing young boys, he's onto something.
Yeah, well, the Dalai Lama, so the legend goes. And real quick before we end, a 30-second synopsis on the Dalai Lama.
Okay.
The Dalai Lama has been the same person for all time. That's what they believe. When the Dalai Lama dies, he's reincarnated into a small child. And so that kid grows up being told he's the Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
That's not a guy named Dalai. He's a reincarnated spirit, and he's always been the Dalai Lama, and they just find a new one when the old one dies. Isn't that wild?
That is incredibly wild.
And yet but at the same time, if you're told from the age since you can comprehend things like 2 or 3, that you're this, and then your whole life is in preparation for this thing, you're probably pretty good at it. You've read the books, you've done the work,
Yeah.
That kid's not in school. He's learning about being Dalai Lama. And I'm sure the Dalai Lama writes letters to himself. Don't you think?
Do you think the Dalai Lama's butthole smells like coconut?
Oh, yeah. He's got a clean one. Clean as a whistle. His farts sound like...
This has been Jar of Pain.
Job pod.
Jar of Pain.